guys, this is extremely Carlos. On today's video, I'm going to give you my review of episode 11 of season 1 of The Big Bang Theory. Code Milky Green Apes. So here we go, guys. I love this episode because it's an episode focused on Sheldon. It revolves all around Sheldon. So here we go, guys. It begins with the corn. So this episode begins with Penny. Even though we don't see Penny in Nebraska, in the episode, we see her come back from a little break or a little vacation to Nebraska, where she has visited her family, and she has come back to Pasadena, or to California, to be more specific, and to the apartment building. So, for the past few weeks, Leonard and Sheldon, or mostly Leonard, has been saving Penny's mail when she gets back, and she came back. So when Penny comes back, she says hi. She says hey to Leonard and Sheldon. But here's the catch. Here's the kicker. Actually, Penny says hi to the guys. But here's the kicker. Her family back home in Nebraska has been battled the cold, a little cold, and of course, Sheldon being the germaphobe, or there's a technical medical term for that. He's a hypochondriac, which guys, I'm a hypochondriac myself. I'm a part of this little exclusive club myself. Now, if you don't know what a hypochondriac is, it is a person or someone that is paranoid to get sick from the smallest little thing. And this is the case of Sheldon and me. But don't worry, I am kind of the level 1 or level 2 or level 3 of hypochondriac. But Sheldon is a level 6 of a hypochondriac, level 7, level 8, level 9 of a hypochondriac. And here's why. So Sheldon, being a hypochondriac that he is, he asks Penny, Tell me, popcorn girl. Tell me, popcorn girl, who was the first one to blow at the wind? And Penny says, I don't know. We just got sick. We just got sick in general. I don't know. I don't know who gave me the cold, but we got sick in general. But it was a tiny cold. I'm better. But anyway, Leonard says, sorry, Penny, but Sheldon is a bit of a extreme germaphobe. So I suggest you go to an apartment before he sprays you with disinfectant spray. So Penny does that. And says thank you to Leonard. For saving her man. But then later that same night, Sheldon is so worried and so hypochondriac. Please check me, guys, if that's a real word, hypochondriac. That he devises he thinks, to fast forward a little bit into the episode, into the situation. He thinks that his vital organs, Sheldon thinks that his vital organs are shutting down from being close in contact with Penny, and of course, like I told you in the past, he loves to label stuff. So he has a lot of cups, a lot of margarine cups, and of course, one specific cup that is his P cup, or number 1 cup. And of course, with all this commotion, Leonard is woken up and says to Sheldon, what are you doing? And then Sheldon says, I'm checking if my organs are starting to fail. If my organs are not failing. And Leonard sees all the margarine cups, and in fact he sees a specific cup with a specific name of a popular brand, Betty Crocker. And that Betty Crocker margarine cup is Sheldon's number 1 cup. You get what I'm saying. But anyway, Leonard is like shocked about this and disgusted and shocked at the same time, and says, "You had time, Sheldon. You had time to make a label for the label maker, but you didn't have time to make a label maker that says measuring cup." When in fact, Sheldon points out to Leonard that at the very bottom of that cup, he labeled it P, number 1 cup. And Leonard says, "Well, Sheldon, thank you for pointing that out. Now I have to apologize. Now I have to send an apology letter to the Betty Crocker Company." Before Leonard said, I have to send a letter of an apology to the Betty Crocker Company, Sheldon asked Leonard if he could swab his throat for throat cultures, which I'm guessing, guys, you can check me on that. If some of you guys are doctors, if throat cultures, which I'm guessing here, are the liquid that it comes from our throats. But Leonard doesn't do that because, again, he thinks that is extremely disturbing and wrong and disgusting. Then the next morning, Sheldon wakes up with a fever and a cold. But there's history with this. So Leonard is running very fast like a Ferrari with glasses, a four-eyed Ferrari, and to get out, and he gets a call from, he calls Howard, and Leonard says, "Code Milky Green," and Howard says, "Oh my God, not Code Milky Green!" Apparently, there's history with this, and here's the history. Apparently, if you guys thought that Leonard was crazy, as normal Sheldon, well, sick Sheldon is even more crazy and funny, even though he's weak and sounding funny. Well, this is the case, and we have a little history lesson from Howard this time. After Leonard said, says code milky green. Howard says, "Oh my God, dear God, not code milky green." Apparently, Sick Sheldon is very crazy, and cannot is so weak to the degree of weakness that he can't do much. What I mean by much, nothing at all. So, and since Leonard and Howard and Rod know how crazy he gets, or how crazy he gets when he's sick, they have developed a degree of sickness, level for Sheldon chart. Code milky green means that he's very sick, and obviously very contagious, but a degree of crazy, but also with a degree of crazy that they can't handle. So over the years they have developed a strategy of going somewhere else that Sheldon is not around when he's sick, and it hasn't worked every time. But or they stay or they hang out at Howard's house or Rod's house, and wait until Sheldon is crazy healthy, like normal crazy Sheldon. But in this case, Howard asks his mom or Mrs. Wallet if Rod and Leonard could come and hang out at his house, and Mrs. Wallet says no. And then Howard says that's negatory to my house. But then Howard says to Leonard, well, they're showing a Planet of the Apes marathon, the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston, all 6 movies, and then Leonard says that's a start, that could work, and the guys eventually agree that will work. Agree that a 6 movie marathon of Planet of the Apes, of the original Planet of the Apes movies, will work out. But it even gets worse for Penny, because Penny is caught in Sheldon's milky mucusy crossfire. Sick Sheldon goes to the Cheesecake Factory and sits at one of the tables to see if Penny can take care of him, because again, Leonard is nowhere to be found. So Penny says, or one of Penny's waiter friends at the Cheesecake Factory says, crazy guy at table 3. And of course that crazy guy is Sheldon. And of course Penny's like, Sheldon, what are you, Sheldon, sweetie, what are you doing here? You're sick. Go home. Then eventually, Penny calls Leonard, who's in the movie theater, who is about to enjoy in a few minutes 6 hours of AP awesomeness with Howard and Raj. And the cool thing, guys, is that Howard, Raj, and Leonard have 8 masks. Eight masks. 8 masks. So, Penny calls Leonard at the movie theater, and Leonard is wearing his 8 mask. And Penny says to Leonard that Sheldon's here. What do I do? What should I do? And then Leonard says to Howard and Raj, Sheldon has found a nest, meaning a nest, meaning a new home for now, and eventually Leonard says an excuse to Penny and tells her that there's an emergency here at the lab. The alarms are going off. I have to go. So Penny, after hearing the excuse from Leonard, Penny has no choice but to oblige to take care of Sheldon. But first they have to go home. But before that, even before calling Leonard, Penny asks Sheldon, if you're sick, you should go home. And you could have ordered soup to be delivered. And of course Sheldon says, I didn't think of that. I'm delirious. I can't think. I can't think straight, Penny. So again, Penny again is not forced to, but she obliges to take Sheldon back home, and then Sheldon says to Penny. Then Penny says, "Okay, sweetie, you're home. Bye." Then Sheldon says, "Wait, Penny, wait. I can't be here alone when I'm sick." So then Penny says, "Okay, sweetie, I'll take care of you. But here are the rules. Here are the rules. I can't do personal stuff for you, meaning help you take a shower, because you can do, even though you're sick, you can do that. So no. And plus, when was the last time that you got sick?" Well, Sheldon says to Penny, the last time that he got sick, he was 11, and he was in Germany with his mom, with Mrs. Cooper. But he went to Germany alone because he was a student studying abroad, and when he got sick in Germany, Mrs. Cooper, his mom, Mrs. Cooper, wasn't there to help him get back to health. So a nurse gave him an enema. I don't know what an enema is, but I'm guessing it's very, very, very extremely painful and personal and very private, and has to deal with private spots of the body. So please don't So please don't check me on that, but at least I know what the word is. Uh, so anyway, and when he and when his mom, Mrs. Cooper, got to Germany, she was able to give Frank a split pea soup with Frankfurter slices and little croutons. And of course, Sheldon asked Penny if she could make that same soup that his mom made. And of course, Penny says no. So, and then Penny says, okay, so new rules. I can't help you with personal stuff, help you take a shower, or give you an enema. Is that clear? And Sheldon says, no. He says, yes, but nodding. Like nodding. Then it gets even worse for Penny. Sheldon can't stand the smell of Vicks Vapor Rub, so Sheldon asked Penny if she could rub Vicks if she could rub Vicks with a V on his chest, and she reluctantly obliges. But here's the extra kicker. Apparently, Sheldon has a Get Better song, and it's called Soft Kitty. And he tells Penny to sing Soft Kitty to him. Soft Kitty to him, but Penny says, Sheldon, I don't know the words to Soft Kitty. But Sheldon says, I'll help you. And guys, this is going to be a recurring thing in later seasons of the song Soft Kitty. Eventually, both Penny and Sheldon sing Soft Kitty together. And eventually Penny sings the whole song, but she misses a step or misses a note or a lyric, and she has to start over again by the request of Sheldon. As Penny's getting acquainted and familiar with Soft Kitty, the song, Leonard, Howard, and Roger are about to get set and ready for AP Goodness, meaning AP Harry Goodness, watching the six movies of Planet of the Apes. But then Leonard's glasses fall when he's taking off his ape masks. And tragically for Leonard, but also funny at the same time, Howard steps on Leonard's glasses as he's trying to help Leonard grab his glasses that fell on the floor. So Leonard is stuck, and Leonard can't see a thing. So he says to Rod and Howard, I have my spare pair or my second pair of glasses in my room. In my room. In my room. In my room. So then Rod says, well, you can have your eyes fixed with LASIK, but Leonard says that's too much. Then Rod counter attack counters Leonard's word sentence with, what do you prefer? Get your eyes fixed by laser, with a laser, or go back home and risk getting caught in Sheldon's milky green web. Eventually the guys agreed to go back to the apartment, but with a plan. Since they know that Sheldon is sick code milky green, Rod and Howard make a plan for Leonard to grab his glasses without Sheldon knowing. And here's the cool thing, and here's the funny part. Howard has a special infrared camera. I think you can check me on that, guys. That will detect movement from 5 minutes. So if sick Sheldon is close by or is nearby, gets close to Leonard, they will know about it. So the plan is set. But here's the kicker. But here's the funny kicker as well. Howard did not turn on his infrared camera for Leonard that Leonard has on his head. So Leonard had to crawl on his hands and knees to get his glasses, without the camera, without the infrared camera on. And eventually, when he turns on his infrared camera, Leonard sees, and Howard and Rod are seeing it in Howard's computer because they're bearing their directions to Leonard. Penny's work shoes, and then Leonard sees Penny and Penny says, "You darn nerds." Then Penny says to Sheldon, "Leonard's here," and of course Leonard is like, "Penny, you don't know how Sheldon is." And then Leonard says, "Take me with you." And then in a funny twist of fate, Leonard hits his face into a piece of wood of the wall. And at the end of the episode, we see Sheldon, who's still sick, with Leonard with an ice pack on his forehead because he acquired a concussion when he hit his head. And Sheldon says, I want some more food to Leonard, and Leonard says, if I stand up, I'll throw up. And by the way, I think after this, Penny won't see us again. And Leonard stands up, or tries to stand up, and then Sheldon says, Don't throw up in the turkey baster, because that's where I'm thawing meat. And that's how this apey milky ape of an episode ends. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like and let me know in the comments what did you think about this episode, and if you were sick like Sheldon, would you act as crazy as Sheldon? And would you be as crazy as a hypochondriac like Sheldon was in this episode? If you were in Sheldon's shoes, let me know in the comments. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to leave a like. And with that being said, guys, may the force be with you. Bye.